Aloha YouTube. This information is fair use and copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Acts of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. I'm going to tell you a story about the things that are about to happen. Hopefully, if this message reaches enough people in time, life as you know it will continue, albeit with a few positive changes. An angry Krakatoa and an angry Kilauea and a rumbling Yellowstone at the same time is an extinction-level event if they decide to spill their guts. It does not matter what religion you are or if you even believe in religion. I will present the material for both sides of the coin, but religious ideology will not be presented in this video. I look around the world, see the cities we built, eat great food with my friends, attend sporting events and think, wow, we have it good. But what if we have it wrong? What if our way of life harms the planet we inhabit? What if nature has said enough is enough, and the end of the world is right around the corner? Nobody in the mainstream media would say it. That might cause people to panic or stop paying their bills or revise their priorities, which are all things that need to happen in order to slow down the impending, yet unnoticed by many, process. For many, I do not expect anything to change your mind about our object non-permanence. Do you want to know how important we really are? Go to a graveyard and see all the important people. We are temporary. Some of us just do not know it yet. I have family members, church leaders, friends, whom I have told and showed the information to, and they would like to be ostriches, hoping I am wrong. The close friends know me and know my background. They know I am telling the truth. You do not know me, and whatever you think you know is about to be revised. In order to open your mind to the possibility that what I am saying is true, I would like to ask you a few questions that one may easily verify by looking at the existing available global media. I am just going to present the information and ask you to connect the dots, or not, for yourself. The mainstream media has reported on the rich building underground bunkers. Now, this is no secret. We know there are hundreds of bunkers around the globe. Many were built for World War II. Most of us believe they are for World War III or some other catastrophic situation. World War III may happen, but not much anyone can do about that unless they vote for people who do not like war. The poles may shift, as they have done many times throughout our geologic time records. Here's an article from Newsweek showing that the Earth's magnetic poles show signs they are about to flip, exposing humans to radiation and planet-wide blackouts. This was published in January 30th, 2018. And I will read, updated. Historically, Earth's north and south magnetic poles have flipped every 200,000 to 300,000 years, except right now. They haven't flipped successfully for about 780,000 years. But the planet's magnetic field is at long last showing signs of shifting. Although there's no way to know yet for sure, it could be gearing up to flip once more, according to Undark magazine. And that possibility is raising new speculation about what that means for planetary life. It goes on. But history shows us that the ocean is the worst place to be when the oceans jump their boundaries. Global warming may happen and sea level may rise. Or global warming may happen and sea level may drop due to the incredible heat. Land has risen in the past. Because of the numerous old ships and copious whale skeletons strewn about the sand, it is safe to believe the Sahara Desert used to be part of the ocean. Many places on Earth used to be submerged and now are not. Evidence exists for places which used to be above sea level that are now below it. Incidentally, the equator's mean sea level is almost 500 feet above mean sea level in England, where it is measured. That extra 500 feet, or a 50-story building, sloshes around and now creates waves that have recently been documented at almost 80 feet high. Smaller ones can take out an oil supertanker, and they often do. As with the oldest Dryas, older Dryas, and younger Dryas time periods, the climate may change significantly in a matter of seconds and flash freeze people while they are eating, just like our recent discovery of flash frozen woolly mammoths eating plants that grow in a Hawaiian climate. Here is an image of the younger Dryas. The oldest Dryas and older Dryas were also Ice Age events that happened far past in our history. Notice how we are very warm compared to when it was cold. Our world leaders don't like to discount things that have happened before, but lately the media has been focusing on something different. Why is President Trump talking about creating a space weapon system to blast asteroids? In fact, I have a different video from NASA talking about this. But here is a Google search to show Trump's space plan to shoot down asteroids. He's been very prolific talking about it lately. Virgin's Richard Branson was early to tell people he would be flying into space. At the time, I think most people thought it was a nice rich person's stunt. Why is Amazon's Jeff Bezos spending $1 billion per year on Blue Origin while trying to start a moon base? Why is Tesla's Elon Musk trying to start a Mars base? Why did Musk pick Mars, citing the moon would be too close to the Earth? And why is Asgardia, some of the wealthiest people on the planet with United Nations connections, working to get what they call, quote, the smartest 2% of Earthlings onto their space station for the stated purpose of repopulating the Earth at a later date? Israel, China, and Russia are flying to space and creating satellites and bases too. Why is the date for the mass exodus set for now? Does this have anything to do with the solar minimum going crazy in 2019 and 2020? Why are we talking about aliens in the mainstream media all of a sudden? Why is Earth experiencing such crazy weather? Well, there is a reason for all of this. From Gizmodo. The Earth is farthest from the sun today, so why is it so hot? I am surprised that Ryan put this picture from the International Space Station as his headline shot. He's talking about the all-time heat records, and they give a reason for why it's so hot on the planet, even though we are furthest away from the sun. I don't agree with their reasoning, but wow, that is a neat picture of the sun from the International Space Station. Since when did all those colorful objects show up? They were not there a few months ago, and no, they are not lens flares. Here is a screen capture from one of the ISS astronauts' videos. Alexander Gerst. Clearly, a red sphere is visible to the left of the sun, but don't take my word for it. Watch his video. I will post a video time-lapse of the past few months in space for my Patreon subscribers. You will see these colorful objects arrive and what the sun looked like peering above the Earth before they showed up. I will also post a solution on the Patreon for my fellow brethren who have enough sense to realize the current plan of a mass exodus is going to fail. I will offer you a potential solution. In a few moments, you will have the opportunity to see a selection of the approaching, and now hear, celestial objects. There are signs and wonders in the sky above the Earth right now, which were foretold in Egyptian pyramids, Mayan ruins, Aboriginal people's tales, and cave paintings. But nobody is talking about them. And who is looking up? The church in Rome has a well-published Lucifer lens on a telescope in South America. But nobody needs an infrared anything to see what no longer can be hidden in the skies. What I am showing you in the following image captures from the International Space Station are probably not even on your radars. Now, NASA didn't hide this. You just didn't look. For those that do not like to trust NASA because they rarely give a straight answer, or you are a hardcore flat earther, the Luciferians ruling the earth are not hiding this. This is the event their religion has been waiting for. They want you to see that their God is a powerful sky bully so that you will get on board with their system. Probably the Real ID system or the chip system. And no, he did not tell them the whole story either. Their knowledge of the future events are possibly more flawed than the lies sold through the mainstream media to you. You may be wondering what is causing climate change or a sudden need for the elite to evacuate Earth. Well, Dorothy, hold on to Toto. Kansas is going bye-bye. You are welcome to pause this, because these are old images. But there is no sun here for those to be lens flares. These are the oncoming. And here we have two. Are these the twins that NASA says they just found? What about that? Or the most beautiful one of all, and a whole lot of stars. Again, this can't be a sun lens flare. The sun isn't in this image. There's the sun. Now these are old shots, but now the skies are filled with objects. They didn't go zooming by. They showed up and have planted themselves around the earth as if waiting for instruction. Could they be the cause of the weird weather on Jupiter, Mars, Neptune, Venus, well, every planet in our solar system? As they passed by each one, we got confirmation that something was changing. Jupiter's spot shrunk, Mars got crazy dust storms, Venus and Neptune got brighter. Our sun has changed. What is happening on Earth? We might be able to chalk up the monsoon rains to weather warfare, but I don't think our current technology is causing the giant crack through Africa, earthquakes and volcanoes. It could, but why do that while some of the elite are still on the planet? Next is an SO2 measurement map from 2018. Sulfur dioxide, the pink-purple on the map, is what comes out of volcanoes. It was no surprise when a recently published study showed volcanism under the New England states. Now, Kilauea, a volcano that has been erupting since the 1980s on Hawaii's Big Island, looks pale compared to other parts of the world. Between that revelation and the proposed sea level rise, there's not a lot of land for the current population. Wait for it. Up next. Yes, of course. This image, published by the U.S. government, does not take into account a pole shift. It only shows what would happen with sea level rise and a new continent in the Pacific Ocean. And the Sahara Desert is once again in the ocean. If that's not disturbing enough, Google and DARPA did some human hunting robot dogs. Now, they were very excited to let everybody know about Spot, and they've got videos showing that you can't knock him over. But that wasn't the only thing that they've created. Why would American tax dollars be used to create such AI-operated hunters? Will the Google dog robots hunt down all the preppers who managed to escape? Probably not. The last pole shift flash froze woolly mammoths who were eating green leaves indigenous to the Hawaiian climate at the time of the 150 degrees Celsius temperature drop. Sorry, I misspelled that. The discovery of the animals, a mother and a baby, occurred in a Siberian climate. This event is known as the Younger Dryas and ends about the time of when the Adamite civilization, beginning with Adam and Eve, were placed on the planet to tend and protect it. Since nobody is talking about a crazy Arctic blast, but we do seem to be having a lot of shaking events, the more important question is, what could be causing all of the volcano eruptions and earthquakes at this time? Now, this next image is a wind map of the globe. You can go to earth.nullschool.net and take a look. When we flatten the round image to look like a map, the image appears like this. It's the exact same image. It's just a question of whether we put it on a blue marble or whether we put it on a flat earth. This next image is a wind map of the globe from a distance of 10 HPA, far above the Earth's surface but below the International Space Station orbit, which is around 270 miles off the surface. The wind along the bottom part of the Earth is flowing rapidly in a counterclockwise or easterly direction, while it appears that the wind in the northern half of the planet is flowing much more slowly in the opposite direction. Blue is very little wind speed. Green is a bit more. Red is higher than most hurricane wind load designs for keeping a roof on your building. Pink is over 300 kilometers per hour. Look at the direction arrows in the wind. The last time I checked the definition of torsion or shear, this scenario causes a rather violent failure. And the little green dot there tells you that in a 260 degree direction, the wind is moving at 314 kilometers per hour at the bottom. But that blue line in the center that used to be where the equator is, which would be down through lower through South America, through Brazil, is up, and there is almost no wind at the top of the globe. It appears that the Earth is really going to split apart and change with a very rapid and violent force. By the way, this speed is not constant. I think this is what happens when you spin one side of the globe in one direction and the other side in another direction. Oh, Terrell from Terrell 03 has been monitoring all the earthquakes, and this is an old shot from June showing how many there were. So why is this occurring? Historically, or as far back as our modern history goes, there is no specific timeline for this type of event. We know it has happened before. However, the pattern is not specific and nobody can set their watch by it. The answer to the question left by prehistoric writings suggests man failed to protect the planet, and this is how the universe reacts to bad behavior. If these celestial objects hovering above Earth were normal, they would have kept on moving, just like normal asteroids. Looking at the historical records for the Great Flood, oldest Dryas, older Dryas, and younger Dryas, just to name a few of the more obvious scientific proofs, notwithstanding the ancient cave paintings and the histories written in the Turkish, Egyptian, Mayan, and pre-Stonehenge civilizations, it appears our predecessors did not learn the lessons nor pass down the proper knowledge for us to follow so that our eradication would not be imminent. Now, can it be stopped? Oh, it can be stopped. But I do not think man is willing to do what it takes to ensure the viability of our current species. Nobody I have talked with wants to lift a finger to change. With that type of attitude, the Earth will continue, but our species will probably go the way of the Giza pyramid builders. Why else would our culture be shelving this planet to foray into new and unknown potential colonies on other planets? Are we about to attempt to establish the same thing that failed here on another planet and expect a different result from the universe? Einstein would be shaking his head in embarrassment. If planetary destruction from exoplanet forces is about to occur for the umpteenth time, and we were never successful at stopping it before, with technologies more advanced than what our modern society has today, why would we think that our futile, toddler attempts to control something more vast and arguably more powerful will not meet with the same certain destruction that has been illustrated in the past? Case in point, just in case the torsion or shear forces are not enough to do such massive disruption that our special warring species is still viable, there are numerous asteroids in the sky. They are new, too. I watch them arrive and take up residency above Earth. There have been many asteroids for all our recorded history, but why now would the United States and every other space-driven nation suddenly want to shoot down asteroids that are close to the planet? Our current plan involves flying a rocket into an asteroid to knock it off course. We have had that technology since before I was born. But why now? Is Sodom and Gomorrah about to happen on a global scale? Are there suddenly a noticeably larger number of potential near-Earth asteroids that might impact the planet on close approach? Would this be the real reason for Harvard geoengineering the sky? Project Bluebeam is a great idea, but smoke and mirrors and a laser show won't do nearly as much damage as a trillion or more asteroids pummeling the Earth's surface. If nobody can see the sky, then who will know when to run when the rocks start falling? Asteroids would remove man and allow the Earth to survive, to begin anew. I believe this is posited as the reason for the dinosaurs disappearing, even though you can go to the museum in Egypt and see dinosaur and human footprints side by side. NASA may lie about their exploits, but I believe our motivated and profit-driven corporations have found a way to mount up to the heavens. Is that what Jeff Bezos is talking about when he talks about having a moon colony and then returning to Earth to reseed it? Is that why Elon Musk feels a Mars base is better than a moon base, because Musk thinks the moon is too close to the Earth when things go from bad to worse in the very near future? Newsflash! Mars looks the way it does because what is about to happen to Earth already happened to Mars. Tiamat was totally destroyed and has since been the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. This game has been played many times. Humans with lifespans of maybe 100 years cannot outsmart or defeat that which has been around since the beginning of time. The message from our ancient civilizations was clear. Build in congruency with nature, live with it, or be destroyed. Now, that does not mean we can't have cars. It means we should be using 100 mile per gallon, I'd like to go 100 miles per hour, non-polluting water as the fuel. A technology that has been around almost as long as the car itself. It does not mean we cannot have roads, but they should be pervious and not made of asphalt. In Australia and at Yellowstone, it appears a bad asphalt core is the reason why the road is bubbling up and ending up on tires. Special note, this happens in Hawaii when a volcano is about to erupt. It does not mean we can't have houses or offices or warehouses or everything else. But the houses and buildings should make their own power and water and deal with the effluent poop as a means of creating energy for the structure. I know this works. I created a patent for it in the early 2000s. And some of you who know me know I have spent a significant amount of time living off-grid. Green roofs? Sure. I won many awards for the first one I built in downtown Houston with a 10-pound per square foot roof loading. It survived every Gulf Coast hurricane, Katrina, Rita, and Ike, with no loss. It is a great way to maximize your food growing area or have more outdoor space without increasing global heat gain. It purifies rainwater and almost completely eliminates heating and cooling requirements. When I put my green roof system together with the house system, it is sustainable off-grid living, but architectural home tour nice with all of the amenities. To stop the reason the elites want off the planet, the rest of us who drank the Kool-Aid of planetary destruction for profit would have to change our method of construction and mobility. The question is, are we willing to do that in time? The technologies do exist. You can check out the green roofs there. They're not hobbit houses, and they don't look like scraggy wildflower patches. They're actually very beautiful. I take green roof inquiries by email only, and I'll leave you with this parting shot. This is the end of the introductory video. For more information and bonus materials, go to my Patreon at Applejacks. Aloha and have a great day.